always waiting on it.
We'll call this meeting of the County Commissioners to order. Please join us for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. We'll begin with the minutes for our previous meeting. Have you all had a chance to review your minutes?
Second that.
Have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve minutes of the previous meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. First up, EMA Director Wade Walling. Wade, do you have anything today?
I just have a couple of things real quick. At the last meeting, I talked about the 911 board. I wanted to see if you guys were ready to move on that yet.
No, we have taken a look at that, the original ordinance, and we've noted some more than one change we would like to make in that, and we haven't got all the wording
Sure.
right the way we want it. But that's right now a work in progress. Would you say that's accurate?
Yep. Okay.
So maybe, hopefully we'll get that taken care of maybe at our next meeting or so.
Well, instead of me bringing it up, when you guys are ready to vote, I'll just wait for the commissioners, and that way I don't keep coming back up for the same thing.
Yeah.
My other thing I wanted to do is recognize CEI Corporation for their $151.50 donation for the River Mile Marker project. And then Hopkins Insurance Agency sent us a check, and I'll take these to Lavonda here after this meeting. And they donated $200 to the River Mile Marker project. So that makes about $700 we got donated already. So really appreciate the public support in this, and I think it's a very worthwhile project. So
How much do you think it'll take to complete that?
$3,000.
3,000.
Roughly $2,900 for all the equipment. Then the volunteers are on the fire departments. My team will go install them, as well as the kayaking place. They're giving us their kayaks to be able to carry stuff downriver as we install them. So
Well, it'll be very useful, especially in times of emergency on the river.
yes, it will, and that's why we're doing that. So people, when they pass those mile markers, they'll be able to see exactly. I was just past mile marker, 49. So that gives first responders a smaller area to search than them saying, I think I'm behind IMI, or at 3 mile, because a lot of times they don't know. And a half mile on a river is very long, so. But that's all I have.
All right, well, thanks, Wayne.
Did you say that when we talked about those earlier, did the mile marker start like at the Ohio River or at our county line?
So it's the actual river mile markers at our county line, and at the southern end, it'll be 49.9. And then every mile will go up, and I think it ends at mile 68. So,
From 49 to 68, take us to the,
northern county line. On
okay.
the West Fork, this isn't the Nolan's Fork, it's just the West Fork, so.
As a kayaker, that's awesome.
Yep. So I just wanted the public to recognize them for their donations, and I'm sure more will be coming in, so.
Okay, thanks, Wayne.
Yep.
Health Department, Matt Shirk.
Thank you. A while back I sent an email out about the registrar position at the health department. I'm looking for your input or even your blessing or further knowledge on it. The position currently is classified as a CMOT, and what I'm looking to do, which I think would be the best option for us, is to reclassify that position as a PAT, which would make that more of a professional position. With the changes that's gone on at the health department, that position has become much more essential to the health department, and the medical knowledge needed to assist the nursing department And then the requirements through the State Department of Health to be certified on drive has made that a professional position, in my opinion. And along with that, then the reclassification would allow if I'm right, a pay change, because the pay through the governor's funding has already been approved through the state so that we could increase pay for that position. So I'm looking for the best way to utilize the governor's funding, which was set up to increase that pay. So, but without a reclassification of the job, I don't think we can change our pay schedule. So I'm looking for your input and your help and your assistance on this issue and any feedback that you might have.
Okay. You two,
What's the difference between your CMLT and the TAT? What's the difference?
PAT. I'd rely on Jane to kind of help with the difference in classifications here. So.
A CMOT is clerical and technical, and a PAT is professional and technical. So typically, in a PAT position, it's going to be require additional education or greater skill level than a CMOT, than a clerical position. So it's kind of wanting to make it a step above what would just be a clerk.
And did you say there was going to be additional training?
She's already undergone the training through Drive with the State Department of Health has instituted new programs for the vital records side of it, where we're keeping all our records for birth certificate, death certificates, and then she's also trained in CHIRP, which is our vaccine program, and then being able to deal with everybody that's coming in. She's basically a medical assistant when people are coming in for their vaccines and records and stuff like that. She's able to pull that information, set appointments, set them up for their vaccines so that the nurses can give those shots and stuff. So.
Yeah, here's a more detailed, professional, administrative, and technical occupations that require specialized or theoretical knowledge through college training or through extensive work experience that requires ongoing training, which provides comparable knowledge to like having a degree. Okay, that's from the government website.
But then, like I said, it is my understanding that the pay scale for the clerical position can't be, is stated at the county level. But the PAT scale is a different level, so if I'm correct in that. So that would, even though I feel like it is as PAT position, it would also help for me to be able to utilize the funding that's there. And when I go to council, I've already budgeted an increased amount of pay through the governor's program for that position. Like, I have money, but I can't use it unless we reclassify it, so.
And then the important thing is just to make sure that the person in that position would fall under that guideline per the,
Mm-hmm.
and so probably need to,
Yeah,
I would think that we might need to just table it so that we make sure that that would be the appropriate thing to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Really look
the
at-
position requires, the position does require additional, ongoing training and ongoing, which is part of it, so, but that, if you want to look at that, that's fine. Happy to have you come down and we'll go through things, but like I said, this is the first step and really the end goal here is to be able to keep a person in that position. So the pay rate is not there, but the funding is. So let's make it so I can use the funding that I have to pay for the position.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I just make the motion that we table it and we'll know soon.
I'll second.
So see you.
Okay.
Just plan on come back 2 weeks.
and Tracy, are you going to visit the health department on this?
Sure. I'll
Okay.
do that.
Look forward to seeing you. All right. I did have another question for Jeff.
Let me take care of this first, Matt. Too. We have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to table the request for a position reclassification in the health department until the next meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Stan. Okay,
All right,
Matt?
thank you. The health department has always had a county attorney, or a health department attorney.
Right?
So we currently do not.
You don't have an attorney at all?
Well, I mean, not. Pete Shaw has been our county attorney.
Right.
So I need to figure out if we need to have another county attorney on retainer, or if it's
Does he attend the meetings? Like I'm, for the Board of Health in Rush County, I'm the attorney.
not now.
And I attend all the meetings.
Yeah.
And
So
there's a lot, there's actually a lot that comes up,
Yeah.
as you know.
Yeah.
I would advise you to have one.
Okay, so that's what my question was, is as the county attorney, is that something you can do both roles of, you personally, or is it something?
Well, there's no, I mean, there would be no conflict if you wanted me to do that,
Okay.
but, yeah.
My question was basically, is that was through you and the commissioners, if that's something that we could
I mean,
explore?
if they want to share me.
Okay,
There's only so much of you to go around.
yeah.
Yeah, the health board stuff's, the nice thing about it is it's duplicate of what I already do, a lot in
Okay.
Rush County anyway. So
All right, so I'll get with you then, so
the only issue is you guys meet at night, you have meetings?
we meet at 5,
How often, once a month, once every 2 months?
quarter.
Quarters, perfect.
Yeah, so. All right, I did email you a while back, so I don't know, I guess you maybe didn't get
It might have
that.
went to my junk.
Okay.
Shoot me another one.
It was,
Did
a
it come
month
from
ago.
did it come from the
County.
government? Sometimes my email
Okay.
blocks stuff, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Highway Department, Jay, do you have anything?
I've got the information on chip seal.
Okay.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Out of there.
I only got one copy of this, and you can pass it back and forth.
Okay, could you explain to everybody just what those mean?
Okay, the first one, the one with the, from the guy that put the oil down, that shows what he's gonna charge for the total, putting 15 miles of chip seal in. I think it's almost $20,000, I think is what the price come out to. Now, the second one is the Asphalt Materials, the company that found him for us, and they're wanting to supply the oil. But the only problem I have with that is, he's charging 50-some cents higher than what we normally pay for oil. So that's gonna amount to almost $30,000 total on all the mileage.
Do we have to use this guy, or can you go back through who you usually use?
We didn't sign no agreement with him. I don't know if the other guy will stay and put the oil down or not, if we don't use him. I haven't talked to him, but I need to talk to him and see. And as far as roads, I went and checked some of our new blacktops we had put down, like Waterloo Road up there and going out Benville, and that is cracking. Needs at least one layer put on it. And I've checked it, mileage on it, and I checked the mileage on 300 North, coming back around back on the 30th Street, then coming back around by the power plant there on Sykes Road. And Waterloo is 4.5 miles. And 300 north, you do all those roads down through there is 6.5 miles, so that's 11 miles. That's only gonna leave you 4 miles of other road to get. And I found 2 other roads that could use it if you want to do them on top of that, if we go that way. Mount Zion Road, could stand it, it's in pretty bad shape. It actually could stand both layers put on it, but we could put one layer on it, and one layer on 300 South, out there by the cemetery out there on the West County line. We've got it pretty well strip patched out and spray patch as much as we can, but there's still some spots to get, and a layer of chip seal would make it a lot better.
That's, that's 2 miles there.
2 miles, both of them is 2 miles.
Okay. Well, before we get to that, let's stick with this.
Okay. Is that the oil company?
Yeah,
You can see he's wanting us to use AE90 instead of RS2. And that helps the price to go up. I don't understand why he pushed that, but unless it's just more money. I need to talk to him, and I hadn't had a chance to talk to him.
and that's just him applying the oil.
Supplying the oil, yeah.
We're supplying the oil.
Yeah. That other one's the guy applying the oil.
Okay. And he, and Evergreen would apply the oil, and then our crew put the,
Yeah, we do all the rest.
why can't we use our normal supplier for the oil in our tank, and this guy can fill up, or we'd have him filled up with the equipment that we have. Is that possible?
Well, we don't have any tank to put in. We've got patching material in the tanks right now, RS2,
Oh, okay.
for the spray patchers. But we still got them out working.
And his price of oil is 50 cents higher than what we normally pay.
On the guy that supplies the oil, yeah. His normal price, let me find it here, for AE90 was $259.5, and he's got $265 down there. Now his RS2 was the same price as that, so it didn't really make any difference.
Did you say you spoke with them, or you didn't get to speak with them to ask them about it?
I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it. But
So maybe just-
our normal suppliers is Marathon, and they were $210 for both of those, a gallon.
And does anybody have a good estimate of how many gallons we'll need?
Well, it takes one tanker, you can do 1.5 miles of road. That's between 62 and 6,500 gallons. Depends on how they load the tanker. Sometimes you'll have some left over and sometimes you won't. And that's, and for 1 mile, and you got, let's see, I got it down here somewhere. The price for, at the price he's quoting, for 15 miles of road was $267,949.50.
267 what?
$267,949.50. Now that's not including your gravel money, but that comes out of different funds, so we'll be all right there.
And that 267,949 is what you figure 30,000 more than what would be normal under normal circumstances if we wasn't in this.
Yeah, because, let's see, I did the math on the other ones. The other one was 222.12 is what it was for the Marathon one, for the same mileage. And I was figuring that at 265.9, but when I did those, and I didn't have the extra 5 on there that he put on it. I didn't see that till this morning when I typed all it off the computer.
We need to see if Evergreen will use Marathon oil.
Yeah, and still do it, yeah.
Well, that's the difference. $45,837.
Yeah. That was at the 259.5 price. See, this is what I already had done, so I seen this one this morning, and I didn't get the other one put down.
Okay.
Add the extra 5 to it.
I'll move the table until we talk to Evergreen and see if they would use the Marathon oil.
Okay. I can do that, I can give him a call.
I'll second that.
Okay. Now, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to table the oil application service contract until Jay finds more information. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
Okay.
I don't know why he wouldn't. I mean, if he's just doing spraying, it shouldn't make any difference.
Well, he does the whole road, he does it all, but he offered just to spread it, because he was the one that found him for us, so we didn't have his number,
Yeah. Okay.
so, I don't know. We've had him out brush cutting, we haven't done any gravel on the side of the road yet, because we was trying to find a road widener so we could get it done quicker. Because the way it is with the small trucks, it'll take about 3 weeks to get the whole 8 miles covered out there. Aside from that, we've been patching, got spray patchers out.
Do you need this back?
No, I got that on the computer, I can get it back off again, it's no problem.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Jay. Let us know as soon as you hear from that guy on that. For the county recorder, she couldn't be here today. We have a 144 request from the county recorder's office to hire 2 part-time people for the preservationist position that we created some months back to do the scanning of records and documents that she's going to use. She's going to pay these people out of her perpetuation. So she has finally found 2 job applicants that she feels comfortable with hiring.
Are they just sharing the position?
Yeah. Let's see, we authorized more hours than either one of them could work. So she's going to utilize the entire amount out of her budget for that. But it'll just be 2 people doing the work.
I'll make a motion that we approve the hire 144 for the recorder's office for the preservationist. We have 2 of them, Tess Montgomery and Cameron Butts.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to approve the 144 request for the recorder's office for the hire of Tess Montgomery and Cameron Butts as preservationists. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Takes care of that. Sheriff Jones, you have anything?
I have nothing.
Okay. VSO Officer Ron Stevens. Ron, welcome back. Do you have anything today?
Well, hopefully this isn't like the last meeting I came to. For those of you who don't know, back on July the 3rd, when I left the council meeting, I had a collapsed lung. So I spent another 8 days in hospital. It was a side effect of my heart surgery that I had, obviously, so I'm good. I've been roto-rooted and all that's good. So hopefully I don't need any more of your services there, Mr. Munson. But no, I just want to let you guys know I am back in the office. I am back to work. So I'm open and doing normal business as usual and stuff, minus some appointments and things like that, but still doubling those up with other people that need to go to the VA and stuff like that. So, but I'm back to work. No issues or problems. So just learning to go slower.
Don't overdo it, Ron. Ease into this thing.
I found out that, yeah, I can't do that anymore. I can't go from 0 to 100 like I used to.
Join the club.
I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know that, but no, like I said, I appreciate your well wishes and everybody's help and assistance and all this. And I was taking phone calls while I was in the hospital, so I was still at it a little bit. So, but we're back. Like I said, the office is back open and we're good. So, is there anything for me? Got any good meds? Appreciate it.
County Attorney, Jeff Wesley. Jeff, do you have?
As luck would have it, I do have something today, Mr. Strong,
Oh, no.
but I don't think I should present it. I think Garrett, my good friend Garrett, will come up to the podium and advise the commissioners of what he's got for us.
Thank you, Jeff. Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Garrett Keener. I am a legal intern for Mrs. Jamie Harvey. So David Smith has contacted us to help him with some real estate work concerning this easement that he attended the last meeting and spoke with you too, as well as a few meetings back in March and I believe February. So in front of me today is the ingress and egress easement deed. If you'd like to see it, I only have one copy. I apologize.
I have approved it. It does address that the driveway shall not be wider than 18 feet. It does talk about the fact that he will be responsible for caring for the entire 60 feet of
So if you'd please review that and see if that is true.
roadway.
But there it shows a legal description that was derived from a survey that Mr. Smith has gotten, I believe, in June 25th.
Because I've been phone calls to get somebody to do that. Nobody-
Survey it.
Nobody in Weaver County.
Surveyors, they've got the good world right now. They're very busy.
Very busy.
You'd think GIS, being able to click a couple buttons and see a property line, you think that'd make it, I think that just makes it more neat for surveyors.
I know, right?
But I don't have any issues. It looks typed up exactly how we wanted it to. I think we're ready to go. I'm sure he's ready to rock when he gets start building.
As soon as I get approval. I already bought a building house. I'm waiting on Chad Fan company to come in place of concrete. I gotta get a driveway.
Just hang on to it so you can sign it at the end of the meeting.
Okay. You want us to
Move to grant,
approve and
pass it.
Okay. Anybody got any questions about this?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve an ingress and egress agreement between David Smith and Fayette County. All in favor, signify by saying aye. 3 ayes, Jane. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Garrett.
Now,
Oh, I was here just to hear that too.
while we're on this subject,
Yes, sir.
matter about the walnut trees. I know the neighbor's selling one and there's another one standing in the in this right of way.
Correct.
And we talked about selling it, we talked about leaving it. The only way that we, I think legally can actually sell the tree is if we advertise or invite bids at a commissioner meeting in the same way we rent farm ground, you know? So, what, if anything, do you want to do on this?
If I can intercede,
David?
if it was up to me, I would leave that tree. All right. Now, I understand that Jeremy Grimes wants to get rid of one on his property especially because all the stuff is falling in his pool, and we talked to the league about he can't get his pool warm because he can't get any solar heat, you know, because it's covering his pool. And that's when I was actually talking to him the first time when he said that somebody offered him some money for his, and he's wondering if he's going to sell that other one. And he said, I said, that's kind of commissioner's position, it's not mine. And that's when they come and talk to you, I think. But, yeah, I know he's wanting to get rid of his. And the other one is fairly close enough, I think it's probably affecting his land also. But personally, I'd like to, I'm not going to take it down. But if you want to sell it, it's your property.
Well, if it was out of the way, you could have a straight road into your property.
Yes.
And all trees are temporary. So if, you know, the tree is it's either going to die on its own or something's going to happen to it eventually, but your road there is going to be there for a long, long, long time. So if we want to build a straight road into his property, the time to remove the tree is now.
Well, my thought is he would like to keep the tree there. It's not affecting us either way. So my opinion is let it stand unless it creates a problem.
I feel like if we go that route with that tree, then we're gonna hinder him from moving on with his house, his lane and everything, so there's a drive. So I'm okay to leave the tree.
Okay.
So I need to make that a motion that we're leaving the tree?
You can, you can if you wish. But we just needed to get that issue out of the way so
Yeah.
that he can proceed.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion that we leave the tree.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to leave the walnut tree in question within the easement of the entrance to David Smith's property. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
They get a plaque.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Tree saved by Fayette County Commissioner.
Now, does this put you in a position now where you can actually start
I can start.
your
All I
project?
gotta do is I gotta get them trees out of the way in the front and one in the back, that little one, and I can get a road base in there so I can get some construction guys to do that.
Okay. Well, we're sorry to have been such a nuisance through all this.
It's been fun, and it's been an experience, it has.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Well, the next time you buy a piece of property, you will know what to watch for, won't you?
I didn't buy it first before I came to you, in my defense. I just wanted to see. But that's fine.
Okay. Does anyone have any mail they need to share? Okay. Have anything under old business?
We have that ordinance for it's basically the brick zone. It's an ordinance to establish a ban on compression release engine brakes for State Road 1. from the Wayne County line south to County Road 450 north. And the ordinance we have is 2024-07. So I'm just making a motion that we approve that today.
Okay, it's been moved by Tracy, second by Dale, to approve ordinance number 2024-07. An ordinance to establish a ban on compression release engine brakes on State Road 1 from the Wayne County line south to County Road 450 north. Is there any further question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jenny. Also, under new business, we have a substantial completion form and a change order for the Community Crossings Matching Grant 2023-2 projects. Jane, you've got that there somewhere, don't you? Okay, these are for, well, the substantial completion form pretty much speaks for itself. The change order do you remember what that change order was?
It's there.
Just many little,
Yeah. This is the change order, and it was a reduction.
okay. Change order was a reduction in the overall cost of the project by $87,289.81. So that was our credit. Those are the kind of change orders you don't see very often. Okay, so we have to approve these to get all that.
Move to approve both of them.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to approve the CCMG change order and substantial completion orders. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Now, we have another item under new business pertaining to payroll schedules and voucher due dates. You have that list? Our HR and payroll has requested this change to make it easier for them to get payroll done more on time and more accurately. So this is a kind of a gradual change in the time people actually work and turn in their payroll. In order to get this working properly, we need to be paying somebody for work they did last week instead of right up to the minute. If that makes any sense. So Haley Wesson has provided this list showing pay periods and when the actual information is provided to her office and the actual pay dates. And we've had this for a while, so if we approve this, she can put this plan into action.
And then she's planning on communicating with everyone so there'll be an understanding. So I approve that. I make a motion that we approve this plan for a change in the way our payroll is done as per Haley.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to approve the
Pay schedule.
the 2025 pay schedule as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. That'll simplify matters for the payroll department, for sure. Okay. Is there any patron concerns? Anyone in the room have anything? Mayor?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. I want to talk a little about House Bill 1167, which is the live streaming law that we're trying to budget for and plan for next year. We have some boards who's not communicating back with TV3. I could use your assistance on getting in some communication with them. Maybe even some clarification from Jeff on, yes, this does apply to you or it doesn't. Our understanding through ours is it applies to them. Yeah, a lot of them don't like it. I get that. It's very frustrating, but we're not getting any communication back from our cemetery board, community corrections board, tourism, and the 911 advisory. I think there's some questions on that one, and not one township has communicated back with us. We did have initial discussions with everyone. They weren't necessarily happy, which I understand that, but they're not communicating back, and we have to budget and plan for this now. We're all in budgets now, so we can be in compliance with it. So I just can use some assistance on reaching out, saying, hey, get with John at TV3 so we can get this figured out. Because the secondary issue we got to figure out on top of this is the new federal guidelines on overtime pay. They've changed the parameters, and now we got to figure out how to get it done, because we can't give them time off anymore. We have to pay overtime. This is not in the budget, so you're not going to see any overtime. So we really got to we got to see how many meetings we got, so we have any hours, so we can calculate what we still want to produce, what we can't produce, and different things. So, but we've got to get some feedback from them. Or I hate to say it, but when we budget, they're going to be out, and then they're going to be not compliant with the law, and it's a whole other issue. So.
I did have the town of Glenwood at their meeting last Monday. I did have them budget some monies. Now you have to understand these townships and these towns, it's going to be tough, but they budgeted $1,000 for next year to try to at least have something in the budget to be able to work with TV3. And they're 80% Rush County, but Rush County is not set up as well as Fayette County is to do this. So I'm hoping that Joe can make that work.
That's why we got to see the big picture, because I may or may not be able to help Glenwood.
Well, it may be Glenwood has to come to City Hall to do the meetings or here to do the meetings.
I still have to have the staff to do it, is my point. And with the new overtime rules, they put a damper on everything. I got multiple departments we got to fix these new overtime rules on.
Do you know roughly what, like a township, roughly what they need to budget, how much?
I need to know how many meetings they have. I mean, that's key. That's why you can see all the yellow and the blue that's not communicating back with us. We need this information. Because we have to, I will create a budget on my end. I hate to draw a line, but we are going to create a budget, draw a line. And if they don't communicate, then they're going to have to figure out, which would be probably a lot more expensive than another way. But it is the law. We have to comply.
And just about, I know there's a lot of entities out there questioning whether or not they're applicable. I'm telling you probably are. There's very few government entities that are not going to be a part of this. And if you're not a part of it now, that means you will be the next year. I mean, it's the future.
If you read the law, and it's very complex, the easiest way to decide if you apply is, do you receive and use tax dollars for anything?
Right.
If the answer to that is yes, then you apply. And we already know from talking to the authors of the bill, they're going to make it tighter. They want more of this. So, yeah, I understand no one likes it, but we do have to follow the law.
Could you name again those that that haven't got
I have
that?
the cemetery board, community corrections, tourism, 911 advisory, and then all the townships.
I do know this much, that the Public Access Counselor is issuing no guidance on this matter yet, because they fully expect the legislature to take this issue up again at the next session and make changes. And I think everybody is just waiting to see what those changes are going to be, because obviously, like Jeff alluded to, some counties are simply not prepared for this.
Nobody's prepared for this. I went to the State House. I met with several legislators. I met with the authors of it. They're not coming off of it. They want to make it tighter. The Public Access Counselor is going to respond on the back side, not on the front side of the law. So they deal with complaints. They're not dealing with how you implement the law. They only deal with the complaint side. So they're not going to be able to give you an answer because it doesn't go into effect until July 1st of next year. But we have to do the budgets now to be, because our budgets being set for July are being done now. So that's what we gotta figure out. So the public access council, no, they don't have any guidance because it's not even implemented yet. So we were dealing with the authors of the bill and legislators and even the legal counsel from the state side. And this is what we come away with. And they all but told us they're gonna make it more restrictive. They want more public access. So we know it's coming. I asked, how are you going to enforce this? I mean, what's the ramification for communities who don't comply with this? And my answer was it would be case by case. And that tells me no one knows, but that tells me that they're going to implement this.
And well, who is the enforcement agent in this case? You know, if Jennings Township says, we're just not doing it, who's going to?
My assumption, it's gonna be just like if we had the doors locked here, it's gonna be complaint driven. Public access counselor's gonna get complaints, and then that's gonna.
And then they'll deal with it.
Yeah, that would be my guess. And, you know, will they find people the first year or two? My assumption would be no. I mean, I'm just kind of guessing. I just don't think they will. But I also don't feel like it's ever going back to changing to where they're not gonna have it. It's gonna be a requirement. And quite honestly, I mean, to kind of brag on Fayette County and the city of Connersville, I would say we're probably in the top 3 or 4% of cities and counties in this state that are actually able to do this. I mean, what you guys have set up is very rare. I mean, I don't think very few communities have a John Palsy and, can do this kind of stuff that you guys have already invested in. So if we can help out the townships and the towns, I'll be honest with you, I see a period where if we can make it work, we have to get more employees, but maybe other entities that are not in this county pay us to do it.
There's already companies that's offering that model. I got an email from one the other day. I mean, they're jumping all over it. And it is very expensive, what they're offering, and the base was very expensive. So we do have a great service here. Fortunately, we do have John and Justin who understand the technology side behind of it. When we confronted the state legislators with the technology side, they didn't understand the technology side. I'll be honest, they didn't care. They just cared about getting the live stream out and doing it right. And I asked for, how are you going to help us fund this? And their answer was, it's your problem. So, as usual. So yeah, it's been a very frustrating process to work through, because we tried to work with them to share with them, you need to understand the cost of what you're asking. And there was a cost estimate that came out from, I don't remember where it came, it was on the state side. They ran a cost analysis, and it was a very large number, and they all was like, that can't be true. And John confirmed and said, yeah, it is true. But it's still ours to solve. So they created the law, and we got to figure out how to implement it. Now, we don't know what the penalties are because those haven't been established yet. But I know they're trying to make it more restrictive, and my conversations with them is they want this, they're going to be very forceful on this. They want this done.
But the truth is, like the town of Glenwood, and I keep bringing them up because I know them, I have a knowledge of them. I don't believe they can make this happen but for using a bigger city or county to help them. So these townships aren't good, like them not reaching out to us seems really silly because they're not going to be able to do it on their own. Like it's cost preventative.
I beg the state legislators to pause the bill and use us as an example, and let us pull a model over here to see how it works so we can drive a cost for it, so then they can see that, and they want it implemented. So we're just trying
I'm
to.
just thinking about, because I was a former trustee, so I'm just thinking about this and how we'd have, they're doing their budgets too
Right.
in August. So.
That's why we're trying to do it now.
So that's where I was thinking, how could you even know what you should?
That's why I gotta see their schedules. I don't know how often they meet.
It's only like
I understand,
twice
but
a year.
they're gonna have to
maybe
meet
3
at a
times.
location where we have cameras and sound set up.
They would
They
have to
can't
come
just
in.
do it in their living room or wherever. And we have to have a schedule, we have to publish everything. It's not just the meeting itself. I mean, everything has to be published and accessed. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So we have to know what that looks like, so we can say it would be about this much or whatever.
I wonder if you knew, like, if you guys got an idea on hour, like if it were total 6 hours, or like you guys got any kind of ballpark idea?
No.
'Cause
I gotta see the number of meetings.
1,000.
What we're trying to do is balance the number of meetings we have to do with what we currently do, because we don't really want to remove any programming we do. But obviously, this is going to be priority over the programming we do. So we're just trying to get everyone to the table, give us the information, that way we can see what it looks like. Maybe it's a monster we can handle now. I don't know the answer to that. And we use the high school a lot. The kids come out and help a lot, but we got to see what the overall picture looks like so we can kind of back our way into it on our cost level. We know that, just for your information, TV3 is funded through cable franchise fees. We have been watching that for years just decline because internet TV is on the rise. And so we're significantly short this year from our budget, just because cable franchise fees did not come in, and we just know they're going to keep going down. Internet's great, but it's killing cable franchise fees. So we have to find a way to fund this going forward on our own. That's kind of where we're at. That's why I got to see the big picture if we can back into it with our numbers, see what we can handle. Because it might require another person. If that's the case, then it's going to be a different funding mechanism, but we want to try to do it with what we have first.
I serve on a couple of these boards, and just a question, I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but does it have to be something that's on a community-based channel, or is it, for these small township boards, is it as easy as getting on Facebook Live and streaming it that way? You can't
It
do
has
that?
to be recorded. It has to be. It can't just be a one-time live and disappear. Which I'm not. Facebook Live's not exactly my jam, but I think that's just it's live and it disappears, right? It has to
I
be
think it
stored.
stays on there.
It does.
Unless you have the ability to delete it, I think. I've never done it before, but I assume.
You have to have publish it on your website, so they have to be able to access the meeting agenda minutes. Then you have to record the meeting. Then it has to be stored. I'm going to use, correct me on my terms, Justin, my terms are not the greatest. It has to be stored on a server for, I believe it's 90 plus days. We archive ours a lot longer than that now. In fact, we don't ever wipe ours off. So right now, that process doesn't cost anything because we use Google. I'm sorry, YouTube. And I don't know how long it'll be before YouTube catches on that, going, hey, here's a moneymaker, because they're forced to do it. So right now, the service is not costing us a thing. And I believe we have unlimited storage, is that correct?
We've got several terabytes.
Okay. We're good on that, I say, for now, because as I'm learning and then you guys are learning, they always change the rules on us. But that's the process now. But a lot of that, they have to be able to access the minutes. There's a lot that goes, it's just not the video itself. It's all the documents that go with it, the minutes and everything. They have to be able to access those. So someone's got to be able to manage all that. And right now, just to be honest, I even told them, you got volunteers leading most of these boards and commissions, and as I read it, Jeff, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if they don't do it, they're personally liable. It's going to be hard to get volunteers to do that again. It's going to be very challenging. So we got to figure out a way to do this as a whole so that we can remove some of that liability from them. So that's all I had. I mean, if you got more questions, I'm not the expert on this, but we have been fighting the fight for quite a while since we saw it, and John and I was up to the State House trying to work with them. So.
Well, as far as cemetery and tourism is concerned, I think we can certainly get them and John together. The townships, you know, we're not their boss.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for resources. You guys deal with the townships more than we do in the city. And if we could just reach out to them and say, hey, you need to get on this. We've had initial communications with everyone, and then it's just kind of stopped. So we're just not getting those are the boards that we're not getting communication back from.
I'll see Fairviews Township Thursday night, so I'll tell her.
Okay.
I'll reach out.
Yeah,
to
we
the ones
just,
I know.
we gotta get this plan so we can figure it out.
And the corrections, I can talk to them, the corrections about it.
Do you want to communicate with Amanda and Donna for tourism and cemetery, or do you want me to reach out to them?
That'd be okay.
And if you need John, you got his number, and Justin, they can direct you to. John really knows the law. He's studied it pretty intensely, so. Fun.
While you're here, you wanna fill us in on anything else the city is doing these days?
How long do you got?
It's only 3 o'clock.
Put it this way, I'm better with what questions do you have?
Okay, are you going to paint the covered bridge?
Yes,
Okay, I've been asked about that.
Yeah.
yes. We got the siding on, I wanted to let it acclimate, we were getting prices. We had a group donate some fire retardant spray for the inside. It was a Covered Bridge Society. They said they would donate the product if we would apply it. As with everything, there's restrictions with that. Restrictions would you had to have a certified person spray. It's like, I own a commercial sprayer, we'll spray it ourselves. Well, I can't do that. You have to have a certified person to spray it. Then you have to get it soda blasted. I don't know if it's soda blasting or something that won't tear stuff up too bad or busy, but you have to prep it before you paint it. And this is just on the inside, not the outside. Together, that's gonna be like $150,000+. I'm like, no way. We're gonna spend that much fixing it. I'm not gonna do that. So we are painting the outside of it, putting a camera system up inside and all around the bridge. I can do that for $3,000 or $4,000. I can't see spending another $150,000 on that bridge. We are working on getting some prices to paint the outside. I want to paint the roof. There were some questions on the collars of the letters. I think they said that originally they were green, but I could be wrong on that. Dale, you might know. You're more of the historian than I am. But they said it was fine if it was black or red. They really didn't care. Black, green, or red. They said all Kennedy bridges had those collars. But I think ours was originally green. But since the roof is red, I don't think they really cared.
It could have been green, but there's an awful lot of them were red.
Yeah, I'm not the expert on Kennedy bridges or any wooden bridge like that, but that's in the making.
Yeah. Say, this north-south alley that comes into the courthouse here.
Market Street?
No, Market Street is over here in front of the
Market Street
depot.
here and runs all the way to Fifth Street.
Market Street, I'm talking about the alleyway here. At the end of the alley where it meets Fifth Street, the temporary fence you guys have up there is out in the street some. Is there any way you guys could kind of cut the corner off that, make it easier for people to turn in here and without having to sit out there on Fifth Street and wait?
Only for you, Dale. We'll move it.
Well,
I'm just teasing. No, we talked about that a while back. When we get our crews back, we're going to pull it back a little bit.
That would sure help people coming in and out courthouse parking lot for sure.
Yeah, we moved it when we saw cut it and dug the concrete out. They're going to pull it back. We've been waiting on, the building will be delivered sometime first week of August. So we utilize the street department to dig out all the millings and the concrete. Actually, I use it as a training opportunity. We bought a new backhoe, but we've never had anyone teach them how to run it. And I've had a lifetime experience running heavy equipment, so we went out there and used it as a training opportunity to start teaching new operators how to run equipment. As digging dirt's one thing, digging concrete's completely different. You can injure yourself and the backhoe very easily tearing up concrete. So it's a good training opportunity. So that's why it slowed it down, because their schedules and my schedule is kind of busy. The utilities are going to come out and move that fire hydrant and do some taps for the sewer and water. And then we're going to do some more. We got some foundations out there we want to remove. And then the building will be going up before too long. So you should be seeing some construction go out there. Now, once the building's up, depending on the weather, we'd like to get the concrete done this year. If the weather doesn't provide, then we'll do the concrete next spring. And then I will be wiring it myself over the winter. So the project, unfortunately, post-COVID, when we were designing it, we designed it for $650,000. It came in over $1.4 million. Just due to inflation. I was like, that's just crazy. So we took out the excavation and took out the wiring, and we're just going to do it ourselves and get the project within more of a reasonable price.
I understand that. We do a lot of in-house work ourselves. It may take longer, but it sure costs a lot less.
Well, when I say in-house, I kind of mean me.
Yeah, well,
I canceled all my vacations this year. I'm just gonna get it done.
Okay. Well, while we're out there in that area, the actual Market Street that runs between 4th Street and 5th Street is currently designated as one-way north. If that was back to two-way, it would make ingress and egress here a lot easier too. What would the city's position be on that if we petition you for that?
I don't have a problem with that. Doesn't bother me one bit.
It's certainly wide enough.
It's wide enough.
Yeah. And I don't remember why it was ever made one way to begin with.
I don't know the answer to that. I think someone told me in the past, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I think it had something to do with that building, some specific building that was there. I don't really know what it was.
I don't know.
I don't know. Way before me.
Okay. Anybody got any more questions for the mayor?
Good.
You only got two? I figured you'd have a bunch more.
Well, I don't want to show off. But
You're fine. I will give you an update. Nova's coming along very well. They should be seeing the first line of operations in December, if not January. And then by the end of 2025, have all their lines running. So that project, if you haven't been up there, the inside of that building looks like a brand new facility. It's just unbelievable what they're doing up there.
Well, we would love to be invited to tour that thing. 'Cause I lived in that building for over 36 years.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it looks all that bright and shiny without
You won't
seeing
recognize it anymore, Dale. You will not recognize it.
Well, I'm glad they're making progress.
Yep, we get up there, we'll get Tom to invite you for a tour.
Okay.
All right?
All right, well, thanks, Mayor. Okay, is there any other patron concerns in the room today? All that leaves is claims and payroll.
Move to approve.
Second that.
We have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve claims and payroll. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, James. Took care of that. I think this was yours. we'll get more rain today or not.
And Marco's missed us, I think. I think there's a chance she gets this evening. And another chance for tomorrow.
I could do a little dry weather right now, tell you the truth.
Me too.
That concludes our agenda for this meeting. Are we forgetting anything?
Not that I know of.
Are you sure? Jane, are we forgetting anything? Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you all very much.